Hey everybody and welcome to Pals Chat. I am your host Gina Parker. I am here with my co-host Ashley Jones.
Heyo.
Ashley, what are you into this week?
So I'm still watching Younger. It's still getting good. It's still like, but what's different is like I'm at this point, not spoiler alert, it's not a new show, where the secret's out and everyone's dealing with the aftermath of like some people know her correct age and some people don't. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
Who are you rooting for? Her young boyfriend or her boss to be her love interest?
Ooh, I'm sort of past that point.
Mm,
She's already like made up her mind. But I mean, like I was always rooting for the younger boyfriend. I found him plucky and cute and very sincere.
hmm
But, so I don't know. But it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a drama. It wouldn't have tension if it was easy and all the characters had a happy ending. So,
I think he stays on the show though, if memory serves.
yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because initially it was a story just about the main character, but you're getting a lot of exposition of her friends and their stories and what they're going through, which I kind of think is really cool. Each of the characters sort of had an initial like, this is the blonde young entrepreneur, here's the weird best friend, and then the lesbian roommate who was an artist, and then there's the young the young love interest, and then the old boss love interest. And everyone was kind of flat initially, and then they started to like develop each of those characters, and they've all like gone through their own stories. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I think in season two, I want to say
There's Josh, who is the tattoo artist that she falls for initially, who's actually in his 20s.
I liked when Lauren and Maggie dated in season two,
That was cool.
but then they broke up and never they never got back together again.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice juxtaposition. I find Maggie to be a refreshing juxtaposition because even though she has her own story and she's like working on her commitment issues or whatever, she's no fuss, no muss. Like, meanwhile, Liza's very tortured and what should I do and who should I be with? Maggie's like, I'm over it. Bye. Like, she's very upfront and honest with all of her because she has a number of love interests throughout the whole thing.
hmm
Um, and but she's just like, I'm not feeling it. Bye. Like she doesn't hem and haw or like pine over anyone. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you get the idea that, let's see, Liza was like maybe I don't want to say sheltered, but like she didn't really explore. Like she was with the same guy forever, and
Hmm.
then when that fell apart, it was kind of like, oh, all these things I can try. And Maggie's been doing Maggie for her whole life, so
Yeah. Well, and that's what I like about the character is that like she just really keeps it real. Like she's like, I know what I can take and I know what I can't. And I'm at this point where Maggie is questioning whether she wants to have children. And she's sort of like, I'm good as an aunt. Like she's like, that's my role. And it's also refreshing because so much, I think, media out there portrays women as like baby makers and that like we struggle with this idea of like having children, having a career, can we have it all? And that's it.
hmm
That's the only choice, that we have to have children and careers and or careers. There's a lot of guilt with either one of them, but that there's no template. There's not a lot of female characters that choose not to have children. And so I
hmm
found that to be a really refreshing take.
hmm
Like, of like, yeah, you know what? I'm an auntie and
hmm
I'm really happy being an auntie. So I like that aspect of her character.
mm, that's nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Oh, I am inhaling it. I am like I think I'm in season 6. Like I'm almost done.
Mm. Then you have to find something else.
Yeah, oh, there's always something else.
Well, there's a new season of The Neighborhood that I've cut up and you can do that one.
Uh,
Catch up on all your ones. You cycle through them. Will
oh
Trent,
yeah.
you go
Yeah.
have a bunch of those.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's pretty much what happens is because I take so long to get through my entertainment, by the time I finish a show, one of my other shows has a new season, and I just take up the whole season in one day, and I'm like, okay, I'm caught up on that one next. What about you? Sounds like The Neighborhood.
The Neighborhood, I saw six since we last
Good.
podcasted, and I agree, it's so good. Great musical. It's interesting because, like you said, there's not a lot of sets. It's mostly like they're just doing a show and trying to give you everything during the show, but it was still very affecting, but also like very funny, very like light, fluffy type
Mm-hmm.
thing. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I was sort of surprised that there wasn't like I don't know, when I heard about the background of the story, I was like, oh, it's going to be a period piece and there's going to be all these people in like Renaissance costumes and like no, it's very modern and it's literally only those women's stories, which is kind of neat to kind of pull them from history, as in like the male portrayal of history and really pulling the female voice out of those historical figures, which I found really empowering.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Should we get into All My Children?
Yes, that's what we're here for.
All right. So the main thing to catch you up on is Marion. She confessed to killing Zach.
Oh,
She,
that's big.
yeah, she had used him for sex work years before. She has a rich fiance now. She was worried about losing him. And so, like, she went to confront him about the blackmail. He got rough with her. She killed him in self-defense. She ends up getting like 15 months in prison. I think mostly for, not coming forward and,
Hmm.
letting someone else be arrested. Yeah.
So then Daisy.
So Daisy goes free. She and Palmer decide to immediately go on vacation in Paris together after she's been released, which is nice for them. Palmer, he's whisking Daisy away to like, you're free, let's go travel. But before he goes to see his son wants to like see Daisy and say, I'm sorry for everything you went through. And Palmer's just like, I'll tell her. And he's like, I'm sorry I didn't believe you about Cynthia, that she was a little snake that's, was out for my money
Hmm.
because she was. So
Mm.
they have a nice little moment. And meanwhile, we have Nina, who's Daisy's daughter, who's been, kind of mentally decompensating this whole time. And
Hmm.
so she keeps fantasizing about killing Mary, and she actually goes so far as to steal a gun from her dad's cabinet once he and her mom are out of the country. And
Hmm.
she takes it to the prison to see Mary and to shoot her. The cops are like, no, she's not taking visitors except for her lawyer. And, no.
Oh, because in my head it's like, no, you're not taking a gun in there. Sorry. Metal
She's
detectors and all.
It was the 80s, you could.
We've had this technology.
No, we're not in the. I'm kidding. But yeah, she takes the gun down to the prison, but isn't allowed to see Marion. So there's that. In the meantime, Palmer is trying to divorce Cynthia. Palmer's been with Cynthia.
Wow, while trying to get Daisy out.
Yeah, but I mean, she cheated on him with his son. So,
Ah,
so he's been trying to divorce her for a while, but he had to put it on the back burner because love of his life was in
Daisy.
jail.
Right.
So he's like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And now he's finally getting to it. So
All right.
He asked Cynthia for a divorce, and she's like, "No, we're soulmates." And he's like, "No, we're
No,
not."
you slept with my son.
Yeah. And so she's going to her son and she's like, "Hey, you need to help me, like find out where Palmer and Daisy are staying in Europe so that I can catch them committing adultery and get a bigger divorce settlement from Palmer." And Andrew's like, "You already committed adultery with his son, so like maybe just leave this nice man alone. I love him now." She won't back off at this point in time. So Cynthia's still out there causing trouble. And that brings us to our main event, which is, of course, Erica. You
Of
know,
course.
Erica is, she brings her employee Jeremy around to meet her mother since he's staying in Pine Valley, and they decide to watch Brooke's new show. And Erica gets very mad at Brooke because she says Brooke isn't like trying to cause her downfall and all this stuff. She blames Brooke for this terrible interview. And so I clipped, it's about a minute long, and I just want you to give your opinion on
Hmm.
the whether or not Brooke was in the wrong here.
Well, Erica Kane was quite an interesting subject. I had fun playing her. How do you feel about her new position as editor-in-chief of Tempo magazine?
Well, I think her first issue was quite innovative. But I think, Danielle, our viewers would prefer to hear your opinions, not mine. I gather you don't approve of Miss Kane's new position.
I don't. I think it's laughable. What qualifications does she have for a job like that? The woman never went to college. Please.
Danielle, if you'll excuse us, we're going to take a break here, but don't go. I think our viewers would prefer to hear Danielle Farrar talk about Danielle Farrar.
Come now. Everyone knows that Adam Chandler owns WRCW and that he also owns Tempo magazine. Now, it seems to me as if you're being just a little frightened of saying something that might upset your boss.
I think I should remind you, Danielle, this is your interview. It's not a diatribe on Erica Kane.
Well, then, if the viewers are interested in me, they might be interested in the fact that when I take on a movie role, I research it thoroughly. Now, in trying to understand her, I researched Miss Kane's background thoroughly. I almost feel as if I were under her skin.
What is this leading up to?
Just that I think I know Erica well enough to know that she's on a giant ego trip.
Why would you say that?
Well, who else would have the nerve to put their picture on the cover of the first issue of their magazine? The very first issue published under her name?
I cannot take any more of this. Erica, that...
All right, so that's what we see of the interview. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts?
Erica's mad that it came out on television, but I don't feel like the interviewer could have stopped that runaway train. I don't think Brooke could have controlled that the other person there. Like she had an agenda going in, even though she probably didn't share it initially. She wanted to publicize and embarrass Erica. And no amount of like different questions was gonna derail her. So no, I don't think Brooke's in the wrong at all.
Me either. But that doesn't stop Erica from driving over to Brooke's house. And that very night,
Of course it doesn't.
they get into a big old cat fight where,
Oh.
Erica's like, "You college dropout, you shouldn't even have a job." And Brooke's like, "At least I went to college." And and so they went after each other pretty good. That's not good. Erica does correctly identify Adam as being behind everything too,
Mm.
though she thinks Adam and Brooke were in it together. That's not the case. And Adam doesn't admit anything, though he did it. So
Hmm.
then we go to the rest of the thing because, Brooke and Erica have had this long-standing feud, even though Brooke is currently engaged to Erica's brother. But, Erica was married to Tom, Brooke was married to Tom, and then Erica dated her brother Mark before she knew he was her brother Mark, and then Brooke dated him. So the rivalry has always been there. Mike died saving Brooke's life. So Erica's a little sore about that. Brooke goes to meet with Erica after their big old fight because her fiance, Erica's brother, Mark, is like, can you please make up with my sister? So then she goes and she meets Gilles Sinclair and she tells him that she's engaged, but he's still trying to sleep with her, which is, it's like, I have a fiance, and she's like, oh, he's like, oh, you have a lover. Okay, that's great. Well, you just stay here with me. We make love. He's going for it. And so Brooke's like, hey, I'd love to interview you. And he's like, oh no, I promised Erica that she could interview me. And Brooke's like, tell you what, why don't you let me interview you for TV? Erica will interview you for print, and I'll wait for Erica's interview to go first before our interview. And Gilles agrees. So Brooke interviews him and says she'll wait. And he also meets Jeremy to do his portrait. Phoebe accuses Erica and Jeremy of being a couple. And Erica's like, no, I'm still not over Mike's death yet. And she asked Jeremy about his personal life. And he just kind of, is very standoffish about it, but polite because he's very fond of Erica. And that's where we leave things this week.
Very busy.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many winners and losers.
That's good.
I can't even the winner has to be Palmer and Daisy finally
Mm-hmm.
getting out of jail and going to Paris and having like a happy ending. Well, I don't know, not really an ending, but like a happy moment because poor Daisy's been in jail for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the loser in this one is Gilles trying to sleep with Brooke, even though she's engaged. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, no. You just stay here. We'll make love. It'll be fine. It's like
And that's
no.
like literally what the dialogue was. It's like, oh, you have someone. Great. Okay, so stay here. We'll make love. And, like as friends. Yeah. Um,
But yeah, those are my two. But I had like three or four more, but I don't want to take yours.
my loser is Nina for trying to bring a gun into a prison to kill someone, where she would be immediately arrested herself. Not playing the long game there. Winner, I'll say Brooke for getting her scoop and for being thus far very honorable in all
Yeah,
her things. I think, given the way Erica treats her, she was
right,
nicer than she had to be in that
right.
interview.
Yeah, she just came over and fought me at my house, but I'm gonna let her have the interview first.
Yeah. And so I'll say Brooke. Yeah. Brooke's my winner. All right. Please like, subscribe, comment. We love a comment. Buy our merch in our merch store.
Patreon.
Please support us on Patreon. We're trying to release all our episodes of All My Children and Passions and General Hospital to you guys. So it'd be great to have that.
Hmm.
I think that's it. Okay. Ready?
What?
Well,
Well,
bye.
bye.
Thank you for listening. Our theme song is Wouldn't It Be Nice by Sound Mirage featuring Lady Rand. Please rate and review, download, subscribe, all the things. And you can email us at amcrewatch@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you next week.